So many young men these days have a life they dislike. They have a body they are not proud of. They have bad grades in school. They don't have many friends. And overall, the real world is just not enjoyable for them. So they escape into the virtual one. The reason they do that is because in the virtual world, their existence actually means something. They are appreciated for their skills. And so they keep on playing and sinking deeper and deeper into the virtual world. Every part of your life will improve once you quit playing video games. This is a hill I'm willing to die on. I promise you that as soon as you stop playing video games, get into self-improvement, and start leveling up in the real world instead of the virtual one, you will be much happier in life. And you will just wonder why you haven't started sooner. That is my promise, and knights don't break promises. And in this video, I want to take you through a 3-step process that will help you transition from leveling up in the virtual world to the real one, because that's really what self-improvement is. It's a video game, but you are just leveling up in real life. And I think that once you get good at it, it will be more enjoyable than any other video game. And so if you are strong enough to make this transition, you will be able to play the game of self-improvement. And I want that for you. So let me walk you through the process that will help you quit video games and get you the life you desire. Step number 1. Destroy your self-limiting beliefs. Every time I talk to a young man who plays video games, he always has a bunch of excuses that he uses to cope with not being able to quit, which you might still be saying to yourself in the back of your head. Things like, oh, but I enjoy playing video games, and time spent in enjoyment isn't time wasted. But are you actually enjoying them? Are they really fun? Well, when you really think about it, most of the time, they aren't that fun. It's fun for a few seconds after you achieve something you grinded really hard for, or after you get something really rare from a loot box. But the thing is, after that, it's not that fun anymore. And the accomplishment you are so happy about is actually useless because you can only use it in that video game, unlike real-life accomplishments. Another very common excuse is, oh, but I need to unwind somehow after a long day. But are you actually unwinding? Is your brain resting? If we were to scan your brain during one of these gaming sessions, would there be no activity like there is supposed to be when you are resting? Obviously not, right? Your brain isn't resting when you are playing video games. It's doing the opposite. And so you are not resting. You are just aiding your addiction. Another excuse you guys like to use is that you spend time with friends on them. But what you need to understand is that you are not really friends. You are just friends over substance. If you weren't doing the bad habit together, chances are you wouldn't really be friends anymore. If you don't believe me, try not playing video games with them for a few weeks and see just how quickly they will forget about you. You know, at first, they will message you a lot. They'll call you gay for not playing with them. But after like the 3rd week, they'll stop messaging you, just like that. Because you weren't doing the addiction with them, they'll stop talking to you. And this might be a little trickier if you still go to school with them. But even there, if you aren't playing with them anymore, they will talk to you less. And that might seem a little scary, right? So many guys don't want to quit video games because they need people to talk to, even if they aren't actual friends. But you need to understand this. Having no friends is better than having bad friends. At this point, it would be better if you didn't have friends for a while. You know, still be social, still talk to people at school, but don't waste your time playing video games with them. Then, when I destroy those excuses with common knowledge, they start coming up with these bullshit claims. Oh, but it helps with my brain and body coordination, or it helps my creativity. And I think that most of you are smart enough to realize that better hand-to-eye coordination can be achieved through things like boxing or other sports. And you are going to be able to live without the slight benefit of having a little more creativity. And anyway, how many video game addicts need more creativity? Maybe like one. And it definitely isn't you. The truth is, even though video games may have some benefits, and as much as you would like to cope, sooner or later you will realize that video games are bad for you. They are overstimulating, which makes you enjoy other tasks less. They are extremely addicting because you always keep on chasing that high you get from winning. They are a complete waste of time because the accomplishments you spend your time trying to achieve there will be useless anyway because you can't use them anywhere else other than the video game. Video games also just make your health worse. They disrupt your sleep, which decreases your testosterone, and they make your brain work worse because it just won't be able to focus as much after so much time under overstimulation. And since you spend so much time in the virtual world, you don't even have time to do things like go to the gym or eat healthy. They are bad for your self-image because when you play video games, you start viewing yourself as more of a shy loser, which makes you act more like a loser. And another thing is that it just makes you into a much worse person because when you play a game where everyone is toxic, like for example League of Legends, it will make you more of a toxic person. This is because you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and so if everyone around you is toxic, you will be more toxic. Think about it. How many times did you make your mother upset because you were toxic? A lot, right? That's all because of video games. Your relationship with your mother literally got worse because you played video games. So it's not only your life that you are making worse, it's also everyone around you. Step number 2, starting with self-improvement. Now this is where you can finally start fixing your life. But I need you to make me one promise. You are going to do exactly what I tell you to do. It will feel like it's below you and that you can do so much better. But no, if you do that, it won't work. You need to do exactly what I tell you. This is where you have to stop listening to your brain for a while and listen to mine, because your brain got you into the video game addiction you are currently in. So listen to my brain for a while. In order for you to quit video games, you have to start doing 3 things, which is to start improving your mental health, slowly start deloading your video game consumption, and change your environment. So let's go through them. Number 1, improve your mental health. This is the most important thing you need to focus on whenever you try to do anything, because improving your mental health is improving your mind. And your mind is the thing that has convinced you to play video games for 10,000 hours in the past couple of years. And therefore, if you start improving your mental health, your mind will be stronger, and therefore, it won't try to force you to play video games, and it will finally be on your side and won't try to fight against you. And I think that is beautiful. But how do you improve your mental health? Well, I have a written guide on my Discord which explains every aspect of improving your mental health. It has a lot of knowledge, which I even thought about selling at one point, but I want to give it to you for free, so go check it out. Number 2, deloading video games. This is the process where you actually start quitting. But when most people think about quitting, they think they need to quit all at once and stop completely. And you could do that, but it's not the most effective way. The most effective way is to progressively deload your consumption of video games. For example, if you play for about 5 hours a day, then you start playing for 2 or 3, and after that, you play only some days of the week, so maybe you play every other day, and after that you play every 3 days, and so on. You basically need to slowly decrease the time you spend playing and the frequency of your playing. This is basically how you quit any other addiction. It's by deloading it slowly. And number 3 is to change your environment. I'll go over this quickly because I don't think it's that important, but some people might benefit from it. Changing your environment is basically removing all the triggers that might get you to start playing video games. So it might be your gaming friends. It might be some things you have in your room. It might be some accounts that you follow on social media. Cut those things out, and you will be less likely to start playing next time. Step number 3, actually leveling up. So after you start going through that second step, you will start finding yourself with more and more time, and you might not know what to use it on. The thing is, after playing so much video games, you've most likely developed a pretty good mindset. When playing video games, you always want to level up, right? And so now, you will start leveling up in real life. Start going to the gym. Think about it as a game, that every time you hit a workout, you get 1 point on the strength skill, and every time you learn something new about training, you get double the points. And if you do this on a long enough time frame, you will get an aesthetic physique, which is a real life accomplishment, and it actually means something. You could also start a business, start uploading your learning lessons on the internet, and later monetize it. That's leveling up your money skill. Or maybe you might want to focus on your studies for now. That's leveling up your intelligence skill, even though that's debatable. You have to find these things that you will now grind instead of playing video games. You have so much valuable drive that you can use to level up in so many areas. And once you level up to a high enough level, you will be much more proud of your achievements than if you were to just keep on playing video games. Alright, that's it for today. Go click on the subscribe button, share this video with a friend who needs to hear it, go join the Wisdom Clan with the first link in the description, and go do something productive now. Bye.